Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler, Mind of a Nerd, and welcome back to another episode of Nerd Talk. I'm here with my great co-host AJ Reacts 2, my best friend Kevin, and we tonight are doing a live spoiler talk for Barbie. The first half, Barbenheimer, the cinematic duology event that is uniting cinephiles across the world. The Oppenheimer spoiler talk will be next week, but we needed to complete the Barbie before we did the timer. Truthfully, if it wasn't for the circumstances that I saw Barbie under, I probably would not have seen Barbie at all, truthfully. But yeah, what's going on, bro?
I'm hyped. And I just watched a trailer that I'm still kind of hyped from. So
I stood in bed pretty much all day because that's what I tend to do when I'm off. You know, tomorrow I'm not going to be doing that, but today I was like, yeah, no, when I don't have to push carts and sweat my ass off at Target, this is what I do. I stay in bed and laugh my ass off at Seinfeld. But we got a little bit of a long stream. We got some news today. So let's get into it, starting with the Saw X plot synopsis and release date. New release date have been revealed. So for those who don't know, Saw X is the 10th chronological Saw movie, but it is the, 12th Saw movie? No,
it's the 10th. It's the 10th.
It's the 10th movie, but it's a prequel.
It's the second, technically the second chronologically.
Oh my god, they stop doing this shit. But we got a new plot synopsis for it today, and we also got a new release date. So I'll start with the release date then, because But they announced that Saw X will be moving to September 29th instead of releasing the same day as Five Nights at Freddy's.
Patrol!
Tobin Bell said, I don't want that smoke. I don't want that Five Nights at Freddy's smoke. I don't want that. Truthfully, I'm happy about the release date change because I think them releasing on the same day was a stupid idea to begin with. Because people will choose one or the other. It's not going to be a Barbenheimer situation where everyone's going to want to see both, because Five Nights at Freddy's already looks mid and nobody cares about Saw. So, but we got a first look at Tobin Bell, The Man Don't Age. And the plot synopsis says the film will take place between Saw 1 and 2, which we didn't figure what movies it take place during. Well, actually, we kind of did. We knew it had to take place before 3. But it'll take place between Saw 1 and 2 and follow John Kramer, who travels to Mexico for a risky medical procedure. That sounds absolutely awful.
I don't.
What are we gonna do?
I need to hear more. I honestly need to hear more because that sounds like the most vague synopsis I've ever heard.
I really
giving who these people are.
I really wish they were just doing a whole new thing again. I really don't. Believe it or not, there is actually a lot of potential for a Saw movie. It's just they fucking just keep going back to Jigsaw. Why? Why does it have to be Jigsaw? Do you realize that I have to actually commend them for the fact that they go back to Jigsaw, because they had to actually sit there and be like, how do we write it where this ties into this and then this ties into this? Dude, the only good thing for them is that they only have to focus on how this will tie into after 2. Oh no, or after like 1. I guess tie into the first one and then the second one. That's it. They don't need to worry about fucking all that stupid bullshit that comes after. But either way, we knew it was going to be a prequel, obviously. But at the same time, would you put it past this franchise to be like, no, he wasn't dead the whole time? That wasn't him who got his head split open. Spoilers for Saw 3. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this?
Kevin, have you seen the movies?
I have. I'm one of the few people that enjoyed the series, mainly because of its wackiness and craziness that a lot of people don't like. To be honest, I didn't know that this was supposed to be a prequel or anything. Like, I thought this was just going to be like Spiral, because they said Saw 10, and I assumed that means Spiral was Saw 9. To which I said, oh, Saw 10 would probably be like, an anthology kind of thing, because I feel like that's what this series could have benefited from, because I thought Spiral was a pretty good, even though it wasn't executed to the best for most people's eyes. Like, this was best suited as an anthology series. The kind of influence that John Kramer had in that world, I feel like would have been best fit for an anthology series moving forward. Not some more John Kramer. Like, we had enough of him. He died in 3, and somehow we got to see him more in the next 4 movies than in the previous 3. Like, I don't get how that's even possible. But I love John Kramer. I love the actor. But I don't care for him anymore. I'll watch it, but
his story is fine. Like, they're just adding. Yeah, I feel like what happened.
This doesn't feel like it'll be a Saw movie. Like, where's the time clock coming in?
Exactly. That's why I said I need to hear more about the synopsis, because that's not really giving us much as far as like what are the traps, like who are the victims, like all that. So,
and it
sounds like it's going to be
John Kramer.
Go ahead.
They can't use the excuse that John Kramer was like a rookie, because in one movie they were just like, oh yeah, I don't know how to use these traps all that well. Like, after Saw 1, he was pretty well into his Jigsaw career, to the point where just like, you can't just play like, oh yeah, he's a rookie or he's still new. Like, no, he's pretty well off.
Yeah, we already got that. Yeah, the thing about Saw,
it feels really desperate.
I agree. I think the thing about Saw was they saw the reactions to Spiral, and I don't know exactly how much the movie made, but they wanted to go back to the basics where they knew that people would, people are fans of the original Saw, so they kind of wanted to revert back to that, and that's kind of lazy to me. But we'll see how it is. We'll see a trailer. When the trailer comes out, we'll see the tone, and we'll see how that all that is. But I don't know.
It comes off as, oh, we tried 2 different things, they didn't work. We're just gonna go back to what we did. And even Jigsaw had Jigsaw in it. Spoilers for that twist, because I actually think that twist was pretty sweet. But I don't know. It's just, I really wish they would have just kept going with the spin-off thing, because I think you had potential there, but I don't care about this. Saw is honestly a franchise that, outside of maybe 2 or 3 of the movies, I fucking hate every one that I don't like. Everything past 3 that's not Jigsaw or Spiral, I just genuinely fucking hate all 4 of those movies. Even the one, I think it's like Saw 6 that people, I fucking hated that too. Everything that involved Hoffman was just garbage to me. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll change my opinion, because I only saw those movies once. I think the only ones I've seen multiple times are the first one, 2, and Spiral. So, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't really care about this at all. I was never excited for this, and this did nothing for me. Moving on, Pet Sematary prequel announced for October on Paramount Plus. More prequels. This is Hollywood, so
that's what Hollywood knows how to do.
Prequels, reboots, sequels, remakes.
That's a day and age we're living in.
We're actually talking about an original movie later, but Pet Sematary. So, for those who were living under a rock, there was a Pet Sematary remake that came out in 2019. Had Jason Clarke in it. Very good. I like that movie a lot, actually. I like it more than the original. A lot. Yeah, I like it more than the original. I actually hate the original. And I really liked what they did with that movie, and I thought the ending was fantastic, actually. So they had announced a sequel that I was like eagerly waiting for, and we heard nothing of it. And then we had just randomly heard, oh yeah, this is coming out. It's a prequel. It's coming out in October for Paramount Plus. And I was like, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care about this. I don't even think it's from the same director, so that even hurts it more. Jason Clarke isn't going to be there, who I loved in that original movie. I don't think John Lithgow is coming back, who again was another one that I loved in that remake. So I don't know. You're taking everything that I was excited for and just being like, no, it's just more Pet Cemetery. Yeah, it's a prequel. It's like, what do we need a prequel to Pet Cemetery for? We don't need a prequel to Pet Cemetery. Give me a sequel. That's what I want. What are you going to tell me that I don't already know? It's a pet cemetery that brings people back from the dead, and when they come back, they're all messed up and they want to kill you. What do I need to know that I don't know?
We need to get an origin. We need to get an origin story. No, we got to see how the cemetery does all this.
If any genre pisses me off more than anything when it comes to reboots and remakes and sequels, it is the horror genre. I swear to you. Now, I don't think any other genre produces more of these types of movies than the horror genre. You got Exorcist 2 and 3, and we're getting a legacy trilogy, whatever, soon. Then we got Halloween reboot trilogies. And we got
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, that too, back. If it ever happens. The
A24 Friday 13th series.
Yeah, I mean, that can actually be something different.
But no Jason Voorhees, so I mean it's just Crystal Lake. But anyway, getting into this, yeah, there was a Pet Cemetery 2019 film. I thought I'm the opposite of Tyler. That movie was genuinely awful. The just all around the acting and the scenarios, I did not care for that film at all. So this announcement just does nothing, absolutely nothing for me. It's on Paramount Plus. It's not gonna be theatrical, so I might watch it if I get bored one day and I'm like, let me see what this is about. I genuinely don't care about this.
Did you watch Paranormal Activity? That one that came out?
I did. And that movie wasn't awful. It just is. It's like it's just another installment. Kind of felt that a little bit with Insidious 5. It's just like at least we had some of the same actors there, and it kind of made sense. But I don't know. This news is just whatever to me.
Yeah, I will say the thing about it being on Paramount Plus is the ones I've seen, Paramount Plus's movies do have good budgets for them. Like I like the budget for the Paranormal Activity joint, and from what I heard, Orphan wasn't too bad either. I did not see Orphan first.
No, I know. Yeah, I saw that one. The budget was pretty good for that. Infinite was another Paramount Plus, I believe, right?
Yeah, that movie looked decent technically, but yeah. I heard that movie was awful. But yeah, it's more saddening to me because I was actually looking forward to it, and then they're just like, no, it's going to be a prequel. It's not going to be a sequel. It's like, well, no, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Kevin, you haven't seen this, right? So you don't care?
No. I don't have an opinion on it. So,
yeah. Moving on. Oh Lord. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom undergoes 3 sets of reshoots. So,
another DCU rant.
Here we go.
I'm not spending much time on this. I'm going to be brutally honest. I just don't care. So it was reported yesterday that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom went under a 3rd set of reshoots, or I guess it finished its 3rd set of reshoots. And people are saying that apparently the CGI is on the level of The Flash, and people have seen 2 test screenings of, I guess, 2 different versions of the movie, and both were apparently awful.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's hard for me to get upset about this anymore. You know, people were like, "Oh, why don't they cancel it? Why don't they cancel it?" It's like, look, it's too late at this point. You had that option last year, you know, and people were like, "Oh, you know, it's James Wan's fault." How is it James Wan's fault exactly? This man literally was the reason why they delayed it the first time because he literally came out and said, "Oh, the CGI is not up to par. I want to finish it." So if it comes out looking bad, you can't entirely blame him because he's the one that wanted to delay it to finish it in the first place. You're acting like he's fucking Andy Muschietti, who was like, "No, I'm going to release the movie the way it looked because it's supposed to look like this on purpose."
Bro.
The greatest lie ever told.
That was
the greatest lie ever told.
And then Aquaman being terrible. Listen. I'm going to be annoyed.
Oh.
Annoyed?
All right, so while he gets back.
Annoyed.
You're back.
You're back.
You're back? Okay.
Yeah.
It does that. I'm going to be annoyed because I love the first Aquaman movie. That's my second favorite DCE movie. And I was one of the ones sitting here saying I'm going to see it no matter what because I'm not somebody who's, "Oh, this actor's in that movie, so I'm not going to watch that movie. Oh, fuck Amber Heard." I'm not a fucking 5-year-old child who lives on my phone, okay? A movie is a movie. The same thing when people were like, "Oh, I'm not seeing The Flash because Ezra Miller's not in or Ezra Miller's in it." It's like, bro, okay, good for you. I'm going to see it because I love comic book movies. You know, I'm at a point right now where we've had no photos, no plot details. All we know is Ocean Master and Black Manta are in the fucking movie, and the drama behind the movie is more important than the movie itself. All we hear is, "Oh, it's Amber Heard in 5 minutes of the movie. Oh, maybe she's in an hour of the movie. Maybe she got cut altogether." Find out when you watch the movie. We don't have a poster. We don't have pictures. We don't have plot details. We don't have anything. This movie comes out in December, bro. What are you doing?
And it might get delayed again.
And then people were saying, "Oh, you know, I don't think people are going to go see it." You're absolutely right. Because December is looking stacked. Because you've got, Wonka is coming out in December. And I think there's a couple of other movies that I can't remember off the top of my head. The Color Purple. People were excited for that. Nobody's going to see this. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yeah.
People already feel a certain way about Amber Heard, and you're not marketing the movie. You're not doing yourself any favors. And then when it fucking bombs, you're gonna sit there and be like, "Ooh, what went wrong? What happened? It's your fault."
It's not good.
It's the same thing with Blue Beetle, dude. Blue Beetle is sitting right now. Blue Beetle is tracking to make $17 million.
Yo,
17, 1-7.
Yeah,
1-7, bro.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
DC is in shambles, bro.
Blue Beetle does not deserve that.
Yeah. It's not good.
Again. What is this movie? To be fair, in all retrospects, it seems like James Gunn, I read the article, James Gunn seems to have a very big input on that third set of reshoots because he wanted to actually look good. And to be honest, James Gunn, I don't know. This is the same guy who said that Shazam and Flash looked really good. So I can't really trust his word right now until he actually has his own movie out. But with Aquaman, I don't care. I said this about Shazam. I said this about Flash. I said this about Shazam. I said this about Flash. I will not say it about Blue Beetle because if he's truly a part of the DCU, I have to care. But I don't care about Aquaman anymore. Much respect to Jason Momoa. He's been a great Aquaman. Much respect to James Wan. He's a really good director.
Having internet issues, Jesus.
Am I having issues?
Is it me too?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But this movie, is gonna suck. When I saw that they said, they might delay it again because the visual effects problems are on par with the same issues that the Flash had, I'm just like, bro, we might be cooked. This movie's gonna be practically entirely set in the ocean, and you're telling me it's gonna look as bad as Flash?
It doesn't look like Quantumania.
Like
It might look worse than Quantumania, legitimately.
Oh god.
I don't understand what they're doing. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what were y'all doing for the past 6 years, 7 years? What were y'all doing, bro?
These visual effects artists have been sitting at home. You're telling me they didn't.
The VX.
How bad had they been overworked? But like I said, with Aquaman, I don't care. Much respect to Jason Momoa, much respect to James Wan. But I will watch this movie in the same light I watched The Flash. Thank God this is finally over. We are done.
Well, no, I have that mindset now. But with The Flash, I couldn't do that because I was like, oh, Aquaman is still a thing. But now I can be like, finally, goodbye, hoorah.
Well, The Flash was supposed to be a reset, though. That's why Kevin was saying that.
They said it was supposed to be a reset.
It was supposed to be. Like, I think that was said. Yeah.
But in that same article, they were like, "Oh, James Gunn." They took out the Ben Affleck scene because they didn't want to promise anything that was not going to happen. And I was just like, "Well, that's a huge fucking lie."
Meanwhile, the Shazam 2 post-credits scene still exists.
Yeah, and then you have Jason Momoa, who's probably not even going to be playing Aquaman anymore. Like, he might be done. He's probably going to play another character that he's really wanted to play as. And
I mean, they said that he's got another movie. They said that Aquaman has a third one.
In my opinion, and I heard they're going the same route, James Gunn, the way he said it, in the way that the same way Peacemaker Season 1 and the Suicide Squad, they should essentially make it that the Aquaman movies kind of technically exist in that world, but not so much that it's like direct canon. That's what I think they should do. Whereas, like, the stories, the skeletons of the plot, it still happened in the DCU. So you can kind of still watch the two movies. But, again, if Aquaman 2 is going to look bad, and the way the reshoots are going, it's probably going to be messy as shit. Who the fuck cares? Let's get this movie over with. And just put out a tweet saying that Warner Bros. Might delay Aquaman. For what? I don't care. If the effects are going to be bad regardless, who cares? Let's move on to the DCU. Let's see what James Gunn and Peter Safran actually has to offer. It's the same thing with
Blue Beetle. Apparently, they wanted to delay a Blue Beetle a whole year. For what? For what? What is that going to accomplish? You're going to delay it to a release date that might not be certain with the strikes going on. What the fuck is the point of that?
Actually, Blue Beetle might be more serviceable because if he's going to be a part of the DCU, that's probably what's going to have to happen. Aquaman, they have no reason to, because if you want to go back to James Gunn, Peter Safran's DCU vision, you don't delay Aquaman. It's gonna be shit. It's gonna bomb. You might as well just live with it, you know. But that's what's gonna happen.
But apparently, Jason Momoa's Aquaman is part of the DCU. Apparently,
I don't believe that.
Given the Flash post-credit scene,
I don't believe that, because I don't even believe George Clooney's gonna be Batman. I don't believe that.
I don't know. You don't think he's going to make a single appearance as Batman? I think he's going to make a single appearance as Batman.
I don't believe
that. Maybe in the multiverse movie? Maybe in a multiverse movie?
Yeah, I want to say I don't believe that. How about this? I don't care. Okay? It is genuinely fucking exhausting being a DC fan. It feels like actual work being a DC fan.
I think
legitimately, you know what being a DC fan is like? DC fan is like being with a toxic girlfriend, and every fucking day you wake up and she's bringing up some other stupid bullshit that you have to deal with.
I think DC will benefit from a year break from movies, okay? Release Blue Beetle next month. Release Aquaman in December. 2024 should be nothing. I don't know about those two animated shows with what was it, Creature Commandos and this other woman, I forgot her name. Waller. If they're gonna come out next year, okay, that's fine.
That's
but as far as movies, it's supposed to be animated. Or TV show, whatever. TV show, animated series, who cares? It's not gonna be in cinemas. Just release the two movies this year. You'll benefit from a year-long break and then come back with Superman. And if James Gunn is gonna make it as good as he wants it to be, that's going to be the reset for the DC reputation. And I think that's what's best to happen. So Talk about all these delays. Fuck those delays. Release it. If they bomb, you already lost money with 2 other movies. You can live with 2 more.
Well said.
Junior Thomas, what's going on? Yes, we are. We were talking about it in just a little bit. Right after this topic. High School Musical, the musical, the series, stupid ass title, season 4 trailer thoughts. So you guys don't know, but me and AJ absolutely adore the High School Musical show. It's on Disney Plus. It has currently 3 seasons, and its 4th is coming out August 9th, the week before my birthday, for its 4th and final season. And I wanted to talk about it last week, but truthfully, I forgot. So I was like, I'll put it in this week because I do want to talk about it. I love this trailer. Now, I love the first season. That season is honestly fantastic to me. Season 2, I kind of can't give thoughts on because I haven't watched it in its entirety since it first started. Season 3, though, I thought was very messy, but it overall came together for a good season. Brian, no, he did not. He will probably be there for Oppenheimer more than likely. That's crazy.
No,
I know. We told him.
He didn't believe in Kenergy. Bring about.
Maybe he's just a Ken. He doesn't have everything else. But yeah, I'm very excited for this final season. It looks like it's going to be very emotional, and if it's anything on the level of season 1, I'm not complaining about that. AJ, how do you feel about this?
Starting off, season 1, I enjoyed. Season 2, it was a little over dramatic, but I enjoyed as well. Season 3, I actually really liked. I really liked the camp setting. I do agree that some of it was messy, but I feel like they tied it all together by the end. In the season 4 trailer, man, I really, really dug it. This show hits those emotional beats. Sometimes the dialogue can be a little cringy, but overall, I feel like it's a really heartfelt show. It's bittersweet to see it end, but I feel like it's that time.
It is.
I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad that it's ending.
The show's gotta end.
The same thing with Cobra Kai.
The plots of the season where they're doing High School Musical 4 and they're performing High School Musical 3, like that's a little weird to me. It feels a little convoluted, but hopefully it all works out. But yeah, the trailer was cool. It's gonna be cool to see these actors back from the original High School Musical movies. Tyler was saying Troy and Gabriella are gonna show up. I don't know about that. I don't know. We can hope
they might show up as cameos, probably. At best, they'll show up as cameos.
I would be down for that.
But what was I gonna say? What the hell was I about to say?
Well, I'll get.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, sorry.
You're not what?
Oh. I'm not mad that it's ending. It's like Cobra Kai. I'm not mad Cobra Kai's ending.
Cobra Kai ended after season 5.
I think that season was fantastic until the ending. The show, the 3rd season kind of told me like, yeah, this show needs to end because I was like, okay, you're doing things I don't really like. I was like, if next year is supposed to be your senior year, just fucking end it and get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, what were you gonna say?
Now, I watched season 1. I love season 1. I really enjoyed season 2. I never actually got around to watching season 3 in its entirety. I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I kind of just lost energy to watch it. I don't think it had anything to do with the season itself. I was just like, I just didn't watch it. But the season 4 trailer looked really good. I really enjoyed it. I think that the whole High School Musical 4 and High School Musical 3 thing, it's kind of weird because I feel like one of the plot lines is that there's so many people want to be on board with the idea of being a background cast for the fourth movie that they just didn't show up for the actual play. And I was just like, that's
which
okay.
Makes no sense, by the way, because they're like, yeah, I want to be in this so bad. Yeah, you want to be a background dancer and not have a single line of dialogue? Yeah, that's cool. And before
Like,
you say, oh, well,
unless
they
you're
get to
gonna
be in a movie, even if before you say, oh, well, they get to be in a movie on Disney Plus, they were already in the Frozen documentary that they did in season 3 on Disney Plus. So,
but they get to be in a High School Musical movie and the reunion at that. The reunion at that. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a, I don't know. That's kind of a hard decision.
I would much rather make a one final musical in my senior year with my friends than do that. That's just me.
Well,
especially the connections that they've made over the past 3 seasons.
I get that, but also like years from now, you're not going to be able to put that movie on and look, hey, that's me in there. Like, that's gone.
Unless the connections are that hype, I don't know, man. I do not know.
Yo, I get to be in a movie. Like, that's me.
No, I didn't watch season 3, and I don't pay attention to all of the outside noise from the show. What happened to 2 of the characters that were a part of the show that were originally love interests of the current couple in the show? I'm just like, I know that season 3 set them up to be together.
I think he's talking about Nina
and the other guy, the guy who was supposed
Ricky.
to be with
they're Nene and Ricky.
I forgot this girl. I know Ricky's still there. No, I'm talking about Nene and some other guy who was not Ricky, the guy who's supposed to be with the current
EJ?
Gina. EJ, yeah, him.
EJ,
I don't know about
EJ graduated. They broke up a long time ago. They broke up in like season 1. But like, are you talking about behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess EJ has an excuse, but what about Nene? Nene.
So Nene is not gonna be. She's gone. She's not coming back. She left in season 3.
Everything holy.
And there was some drama between the actor who plays Nene, and the actor that plays Ricky. They were dating in real life.
The irony.
Apparently, he cheated on her with another Disney Channel star, and she made an entire album that blew up, and she got too big for her britches to be on this show, and now she's gone. So that was the drama. That's the tea.
Taylor Swift type of shit.
That's the tea.
All right. That's
we're better off for it because her character sucks anyway.
Her character was okay in the beginning, and then they just like, I don't know, the writing just went way down for her character for whatever reason.
I'll figure it out when I rewatch the show. But I just need to know that. But all right. But yeah, the show was dope. Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Moving on to something that I was really hoping came out before we went on Nerd Talk. Spider-Man 2 story trailer. So I'm going to pull this one and I want to bask in this glory real quick. Look at that man. Look at him. Look at that man.
You can see that face from him.
In all his glory. Look at him.
The symbol, bro.
Bro, that looks amazing, bro.
It does.
Absolutely fantastic. I was confused because Sony put up 2 different videos labeled story trailer. One was revealing what the console looks like, which looks admittedly awesome.
That must have been an accident by them.
Shit, we released the wrong one.
Here it is.
Getting the same thumbnail and title.
Look at that boy. Look at that boy.
So are you gonna be able to? Are you gonna be able to purchase the plates, or you just have to buy?
They did.
Yes,
they confirmed you can buy the plates and a controller separately.
Cool.
Which is amazing. I love that.
I kind of wish that the controller was a little bit more red, but I get it.
Yeah. I kind of wish it would be halfway.
Yeah, halfway ish, but it's cool. I love it. I love the
So
plates.
the actual trailer itself, I thought I was worried. I was like, it's only a minute long. A story long, a story trailer is a minute long.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you gonna put into that? Apparently a lot.
Yeah, jam-packed.
I don't need to see anything else. I don't need to see nothing else.
I
think I'm sold on that. I don't need to see nothing else. You gave me 15 minutes of gameplay, and then you gave me this trailer. I'm good. I'm ready to actually have this game in my possession. It looks fantastic, and I made sure I was watching it in 4K on my TV. It looks absolutely phenomenal on the PS5. Oh my god. I need this game in my life. If this game does not live, if this game ends up being like Jedi Survivor, which I was very disappointed by, I think I might actually cry, though. Legitimately.
But Jedi Survivor wasn't a bad game, though.
It wasn't. It was just very disappointing. I don't want this game to be disappointing at all. I want it to be, some might tell you're setting yourself for failure. I don't give a shit. I want this game to be a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah.
Because the first game
is game of the year.
I want to when I actually beat the game. I want to keep playing it even after it's over. That's how the first one is, and that's how Miles Morales is for me, anyway. So,
no, it's for me too. I love that game.
Mm-hmm. So the trailer, fantastic. I need to go back and watch it again because I know there was a lot packed into it, and I could slow it down, freeze frame it. But Venom, man, Venom looks amazing in this trailer. Cannot wait for it. And Alex actually dropped his reaction to it on his channel here, so go check that out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks fantastic, and this is the first custom PS5 that we are getting.
Yep.
And it's kind of weird. For those collectors out there, if you got the PS4 that came out with Spider-Man PS4, I bet you're sitting there like, fuck, do I get the Spider-Man 2 PS5?
Yep, I'm selling my PS5 so I can get the upgrade.
Or just you got the plates. Buy the plates.
Buy the plates.
Yeah, buy the plates.
Because the middle part is still black, so might as well just buy the plates.
There you go.
I have the Batman Arkham Knight PS4, which I don't need anymore.
Yeah, what's the last time you turned that boy on?
That joint. But I keep it because it's a very I keep it because that's a collect. If it was just a regular black PS4, that joint would be gone. Probably, more than likely. I don't know.
Because he's doing the Spider-Man Miles Morales walkthroughs right now, so he'll probably do this one too.
Kevin, you want to add anything before we move on?
No, the trailer looks fantastic. I absolutely loved it. The new styles, designs for the characters. I have to admit, I think it's got to grow on me a little bit. They don't look horrible, but they got to grow on me a little bit. Like seeing Miles'
hair looks really weird.
So I was saying, you got that lesbian type of hair, bro.
Hey, I like it. I like the hair.
Listen, they all look good. It's just like it's gotta get used to.
He looks like he kind of looks like Spider-Man from Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I don't know. He's getting there. It's the start of it.
The glow up for MJ looks really good. Really love that. The new face for Peter looks a million times better in this new game because when they did that remaster for it and they tried to trace that face with the old tracing, that looked horrible. But in this one, it looks really good. I really enjoy the face a lot more. But that's all I have to add. For me, the character designs just have to get a little bit getting used to. But overall, they look good.
Yeah, about the Peter change up, I've never had to really deal with it. I saw it, but I never upgraded my Spider-Man game, so I never really played as the new version of Peter. So I'll be
for a whirlwind.
Yeah, I'll be playing with the new version of Peter on this one. So We'll see.
I mean, you should. It's only $10 to upgrade it. It's not a bad upgrade.
I don't
The
care.
game, other than the model, the game looks fantastic.
Yeah, and
I'm not somebody who really cares about that.
But yeah, AJ, when they changed the face, they didn't actually change. They changed the model, but they never actually properly traced it in the game. So they traced it with the old model, which made it look really bad.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's better. It looks better in this new one.
Moving on, The Creator trailer number 2. For those who don't know what this is a new original sci-fi movie directed by Gareth Edwards, who gave us Rogue One, AJ's not favorite Star Wars movie, but it's up there for him.
It's up there.
I know it's John's favorite Star Wars movie.
It's John's favorite Star Wars? I guess I didn't realize that.
I really enjoyed it. That was a good movie.
I didn't. Every time I watch that movie, it gets higher and higher.
I've yet to watch
it again. It'll be
Rogue One. I meant to watch it. I meant to watch it when it. I meant to watch it again when it came out last year, and I just missed it. Maybe I'll revisit it before The Creator comes out. But I've had my eye on this. Again, original sci-fi. Everyone in Hollywood. Oh my God!
Original content.
What? This looks really good. Does it look like a bunch of other movies put into one? Yeah, kind of. It looks a lot like Blade Runner or Terminator, but it looks pretty cool. You know, I love John David Washington. You know, a lot of people don't. I like John David Washington a lot, so him getting a lead, I'm not mad about that. The movie visually looks fantastic. I've seen this trailer only on IMAX screens, and I think that's intended because the movie looks very big. Although they keep showing it in this aspect ratio, I don't know why it looks like that. It's very... I don't know the terms of aspect ratios, but it looks very squished. It looks like, if anyone's seen Zodiac, I think Zodiac is in this aspect ratio where I'm just like, it's very squished. I don't know. But maybe it'll look different on IMAX, because I think it's filmed for IMAX. But yeah, this movie looks very good. This second trailer didn't really do much. It was a very good trailer. But most of this just felt like the first trailer and the extended trailer that me and Kevin got to see when we saw Dial of Destiny in IMAX. So didn't really do much, but I'm still very excited for this. You know, again, original sci-fi. That sounds very intriguing, you know. And you already know the scope and the visuals are going to be top-notch, because that's something this man does very well. The Godzilla 2014 movie, amazing in the visuals and scale. It's the same thing with Rogue One. Rogue One, visually and technically, is a phenomenal movie. So those are my thoughts on this movie. You guys can go next.
I'm gonna be quick. I have not seen the trailer for this. I know I was supposed to watch it before Nerd Talk. I forgot. But I did see some images and some posters, and it looks pretty cool. It wasn't really on my radar until you guys kind of brought it up. But yeah, I intend to check it out. So, Kev, what are your thoughts, man?
I'm gonna be honest. I did not expect this movie to grasp as much attention as I thought it would. Because I first saw it, I was just like, "It looks good. It looks good." And they were talking about, "Oh, it's gonna be in IMAX." I'm like, "Oh, okay, IMAX, huh?" Then I find out that Greg Fraser is doing the cinematography for this, and I was like, "Okay." And I started building up hype, and then I saw this trailer. I'm like, "This looks awesome." Like Tyler said, original sci-fi stuff. I think that this is going to be a breath of fresh air. You know, I know we got original content this week with Barbie and Oppenheimer, but you know, original sci-fi, that's stuff I'm really excited for, stuff I'm super stoked about. And the kind of world it set itself in that they showed in that second trailer, it looks pretty good, and I can't wait for it, you know. And it's going to come out at the end of September, I think, so it's pretty soon. So I'm very stoked about that, you know. Might be a Thursday night kind of thing.
Daniel, what's good? Yes, this news came out today. So for anyone seeing Oppenheimer, there you go.
It will that case only works for IMAX 70 millimeters. So very few theaters.
No,
if you happen to see it.
Yeah, all 70
millimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was.
So you don't gotta tell me. I'm always there before the movie starts. So you don't gotta tell me nothing. Trust me, I will be there before 6:30 p.m. Trust me. Now my thing is with this is it's kind of annoying because most people won't know this. And so for 30 minutes, I'm probably going to have to sit there with people fucking walking in front of me. Because people with their heads up their asses love to get there an hour after the fucking ticket says to get there. Yeah. You know, truthfully, what I wish would happen is if you're not there when the movie starts, you're cooked. I really wish that would be a thing. You know, if you're not in, so how our IMAX is they have to check you in and then you go wait for your food and then you go in. It's like one big lounge. I really wish if you were not in the lounge at like 6:50, you're cooked. Like that's it, bro. Because that you know how distracting that's gonna be.
What if I'm trying to avoid trailers?
That's tough, bro.
That's why I think that logic should only work for, you know, your 6:50 deadline. That should only work for, you know, if the movie starts at such time.
Yeah, like this. Like if there's trailers, then I don't care.
My big complaint about finding out this news now is that, you know, for people like us, we know about it. We would find out about stuff like this. Yeah. But for the normal casual moviegoers, like my friend who's seeing it with us tomorrow, I had to tell him because he doesn't follow social media all that much. I had to tell him, like, dude, you got to be here, like before 6:30. You got to be here. And he told me, I was like, all right, I got you. But I kind of wish that if they were going to have this kind of thing, because everybody's logic goes by, okay, maybe about 20, 30 minutes after the start time is when it's actually going to start. Tell us before the tickets went on sale. Tell us. Like, okay, guys, tickets are coming out tomorrow. But here's the catch. This movie will start on time if you're watching it at 70 millimeter. Don't go, like, telling us the day or two before it starts. I guarantee there are people seeing the movie right now who had to deal with 30 minutes of people coming in hella late, people complaining that they started this movie hella early. Like, you know, I feel like it would have been beneficial information for everybody involved if you told us the day the tickets went on sale, because then people would prepare for that.
The people arriving late missed 30 minutes of the movie too.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds personal. Who told you to come 30 minutes after?
I'm not trying to watch trailers.
Yeah, I get the logic people are going with, like AJ. You know, they don't want to watch trailers, especially for theaters that repeat trailers a lot. So I kind of get that logic, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I feel like it's more the theater's fault and the filmmaker's fault for not telling us this information. Like, for those people, this would have been beneficial information. So that's just my opinion.
Daniel, I don't know if you heard the news. They delayed it a whole year. It comes out next year now. Yeah. That movie.
So wait, it was originally going to come out in 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, Daniel, that movie's going to be a disaster. I have no hope for that movie no more. Oh, yeah. Moving on. Secret Invasion Episode 5. The longest 5 weeks of my life. Actually, no. I can't say that because She-Hulk felt longer than this. Episode 5.
Was longer than this.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of 5 weeks, not the entirety of the show.
Okay.
That show felt like a year compared to this. Secret Invasion Episode 5. I want to honestly move on from this. Nothing happened in this show. I will say this. The action sequence that we got at the end was rather fantastic. I was like, whoa, where'd you pull that one from? It felt like, honestly, a whole different show. I was like, wow. Okay. It quite literally woke me up. I was sitting there on the bus watching it, and I heard boom, boom, boom. I was like, oh. I
didn't actually pay attention.
I don't know.
That shit came from outside
the Bronx, so it could have been on the bus. I don't know. listen, this show. Truthfully, what happened? What happened in this show? They revealed that Talos died.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. What else?
The dude defied Gravik, and he showed him what was what.
Okay, a useless
they
henchman died.
They
okay?
took Gravik and pinned him down, and I actually really liked
That was
how
cool.
they showed off what the Super Scroll could actually do.
Now,
what?
sorry. Now, what did I tell you guys about how this series was going to go? Ever since episode,
I was thinking that the whole time I was watching that episode.
Since, I forgot what was it, episode 3 or episode 2 that I said.
I think it was.
When we
I
had
think
that
it was
review.
episode 3.
I said this was exactly how it's going to go. Episode 4, it's going to start slow, and then it was going to have this huge climax that people are going to be like, "Oh man, it's actually Jover for these guys. Holy shit!" And then episode 5, it starts off feeling the effects of episode 4. Stuff gets shit. Halfway through the episode, we're like, all right, now we're building towards something. Now we're actually headed towards the finale. And then boom, you see the character getting ready, getting hyping himself up, and you're just like, all right, we got this. And then episode 6 will be the finale. We're all gonna forget about this. What did I tell you guys? That's exactly how this format was gonna go.
I was thinking about that when I was watching this past episode. I was like, Kevin was exactly right. That's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. That's not to say this was a bad episode. This was my favorite episode since episode 2. Because shit was, for all the shit that I gave this show, shit actually happened in this episode. You see the scrolls actually defying Gravik. Stuff was actually felt fast pacing, aside from like a few scenes in the middle. But other than that, I was just like, this shit's moving. We're actually headed towards somewhere. Obviously, episode 6 will rush down to the ground, and we would have loved this pacing 2 episodes ago. But, it's glad to see that this show is finally picking itself up before we get to an abrupt ending next week. But, for me, this was my favorite episode since the first episode. That's not saying much, but this is really good stuff. Wish we would have gotten more in this throughout the entire show, but I can't be upset at this episode for, trying to fix itself before we get to the finale. But,
I can agree with you, Kev, with that. I really enjoyed it. So, going back, I didn't watch this show week to week. I watched the first episode when it came out, and then I was like, I'm just gonna wait until episode 5 comes out, just watch all of the episodes, and then kind of just wait until the finale so I can watch that live. And I'm so glad I did that, because the other day on Tuesday, I just sat there and watched these episodes, and episode 2, I actually really liked. 3 was very slow to me, but it wasn't terrible. Episode 4 I actually liked, and 5 I liked too. As far as 5, seeing what the Super Scrolls could do was pretty dope. The whole Gravik dynamic was cool. I have an issue with Gravik, and I know Tyler has been talking about it over the past couple of days, or past couple of Nerd Talks. And I think and I talked to him about this off screen. I kind of understand what they were going for with this character. I think Gravik was the type of character that they wanted to be calm, cool, and collected, kind of like a Thanos type character. But with this actor and with who Gravik is, it doesn't work. It comes off as dry. It comes off as
cheesy,
dry, bland, all of that. So I think what they should have done with this character is kind of gone more of the high evolutionary route and made him a lot more charismatic. I think that would have brought more of a presence to the series. But I don't know exactly if this actor is capable of that,
really,
charisma.
I felt he was more capable of being very threatening, very all out, because that's than he was as calm and collected as the writing gave him as.
I can see that. I can see that for sure. I wish they would have went that way with him, because now it just feels like he doesn't have he doesn't have any type of charisma. It doesn't feel like he just feels dry and bland.
Yeah.
But I see the vision for his character. It just did not. It was not executed well. Either it was the writing, directing, or the acting. It was or all three. But what else was I gonna say about this episode? Talos is apparently dead. I mean, they already did some fake out deaths, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Talos shows up in the last episode.
After the funeral they gave him, bro.
I don't know. Who knows? But yo, what we haven't really been talking about is Olivia Colman. This lady is too good for this show.
We haven't been talking about her because she hasn't been there.
Oh, she's been there. She's had a presence there. Even when she's not on screen, she has a presence in this show. And the whole torture scene in the meat locker, that's probably my favorite scene in the whole show so far. She showed up in this episode, just starting shooting this dude. And she was like, and he would turn out to be a Skrull. I'm like, yo, and she kind of does it with a smile on her face. Like, it's just like something like I love her.
It's ironic.
I love her. Like just her overall like being. I love her on this show.
It's ironic that the more charismatic that these characters were, the better the show was. Instead of being bland and dry and so like a regular spy thing. Like this is not.
And that's what I was nervous about going into the show, knowing that it is going to have more of a serious tone. Like, I don't want it to be boring. Like, yes, I want more serious tones. This is what, we've been asking for the MCU for a while now. But I don't want it to be boring because I can see more serious tones equivalent to boring. And that's kind of how it is for a lot of viewers. So, I don't know. And I also have a hot take too, so I'm gonna let Kev go, and then we're gonna get to my hot take. Which I know y'all are gonna be mad at me for this, but
I have a hot take myself because when we found out about the harvest in this episode, talking about Avengers DNA, and first of all, in my head, I'm just like, what Avengers DNA? You have the Hulk, you have Thor, Iron Man doesn't have powers. Captain America came from super soldiers tier. Natasha is not a super, he doesn't have powers. Hawkeye doesn't have powers. I'm like, what? All right. Aside from that point, doesn't it feel like Secret Invasion should have been its own saga? In my opinion, I feel like it should have been its own saga because reeling from the effects of the end of Endgame, losing Iron Man, losing Captain America, Thor is gone. Wherever the fuck he's doing now, being a father, I guess. Hulk and Hawkeye are basically at the verge of retirement at this point. And Natasha's dead. So for me, it feels like if you're going to roll with this harvest idea with Avengers DNA, I feel like this would have been a really cool idea for a phase 4 or phase 4, 5, and 6, like, saga. I was
like a plot point
there.
For those, like a plot point for for those phases.
That would have been a very good driving force for.
I just don't want this. I wouldn't want the Skrulls to be the villains in those sagas. We would definitely need a different villain.
I'm not saying pull the same shit like what they're doing now, having Kane show up in every fucking project and setting everything up. But like, set little clues in there, oh yeah, Skrulls are here somewhere. Skrulls are everywhere. Why is it only in this one show? Why not show us Skrulls being everywhere in other shows? Skrulls in the background or little plot points, little Easter eggs here and there while these movies are still on their own. I feel like this would have been a really cool saga kind of thing before we headed into the multiverse saga.
I can see that.
Why? Because Secret Invasion doesn't make billions of dollars. The Skrulls don't make billions of dollars. You know what does make billions of dollars? Multiverse and cameos.
Yeah, she could say that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I understand that. But again, I feel like if you're gonna, even if it wasn't like a whole saga,
right.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't a whole saga, like let's say it's just phase 4 or just like 2 phases kind of thing, couple of years, like that would have been a good like bridge to walk on. setting the stakes high enough that you can justify it, but also just keeping it low key while you're still trying to reel from the effects of Endgame. And then you head into the multiverse with Kang and everything else.
It should have been an Avengers movie, period. It should have never been a show. It should have never been a show, period. Let alone an Avengers movie. It should have never been a fucking show. It should have been a movie. This show is nearly 6 hours long, and it feels like 12 because they are dragging things out for no reason. There is a very simple point A to point B story, and they are just kicking rocks, kicking dirt, dragging their feet. For what? Because you want to fucking stick to this stupid ass 6-episode formula that does not work anymore. It does not work, and it has not worked for 80% of these shows. It's either, truthfully, I think these shows just need to die 1,000 deaths because clearly the 6-episode formula doesn't work. And then when you do something like She-Hulk where it's 9 episodes, it's even worse because you just don't know how to write for 9 episodes. So it's like, well, where are we? How about we just cancel the fucking shows entirely? You know, it's... I seriously think the problem is they're taking these writers who write movies and telling them write shows. And it doesn't work that way. Now, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if the screenwriters are actually TV writers. I think some of them are. But that's what it comes off as. It comes off as, oh, well, we wrote movies before, so let's write TV. You can't do that. It'd be the same if Christopher Nolan was like, oh, I'm going to write for a video game. It's not the same thing. You know, would it be a banger? Of course it would be a banger. But it's not the same thing, you know? They're different beasts, and that's the problem. Marvel is like, oh, well, we're going to make these TV shows, but we're going to make them like movies. You can't do that. Marvel, movies and TV are two different things. That's what they don't understand. They're taking these stories that should follow first, second, third act structures, and they're fucking stretching them out for 6 to 8 to 9 episodes. And some episodes are regarded as, oh, that was good. And then other ones are like, man, that was boring. That went nowhere. Because they don't have the stories like WandaVision. WandaVision was cool because it was like, oh, it's an ongoing.
Yeah, he'll be back.
All right. I don't know what, WandaVision, it was like, oh, it's an ongoing story. So that's why every week I was like, oh, I'm interested because it was a mystery and it hooked me. It was a story that was investing. None of these stories are investing, and that's the problem. There's nothing, even the fucking most common MCU shows are like, I'm not watching this. Do you know how many people I had telling me yesterday, oh, I'm following this show through your reviews because this show is so boring. Mm-hmm. I had 2 people in my comment section yesterday telling me that. And then I had other people DMing me saying, oh, I'm not watching this. Because it does not matter.
I completely get it.
And it doesn't help that you're setting up a movie that nobody cares about either.
It's true.
And it doesn't help that you're not marketing said movie either. And people are like, oh, well, they're not marketing it because they don't want to spoil the show. Oh, yes, because the Marvels is going to have some big spoiler.
Yeah. I'm not disliking this show as much as a lot of people are, but I will say that it's not enough substance to fill out 6 hours of television. It's not. The hot take that I was gonna talk about before we get into Barbie, I know we kind of getting pressed for time a little bit, but the hot take I had is, I love Nick Fury in this show, and this is probably my favorite version of Nick Fury in this show. But I will say that I think that he's a little distracting in this series, and having less of him or none of him would benefit the narrative that's trying to be told here, because a lot of it is Nick Fury. He's got this wife now that we didn't know about, and it's distracting from what the actual narrative is for this series. Instead of focusing on that, we could focus on Gravik and creating a character with depth and charisma and somebody that is actually threatening, rather than, you know, focusing on something that doesn't really matter. They tie it in certain ways, but it's just, I just find it very distracting. Olivia Colman's character is disgustingly misused in this show. I think we could focus more on her character, fleshing her out more, and things like that. I know it's a hot take, but Nick Fury, I don't know. Less of him could have been more with this show.
I feel like
it's just my 2 cents.
I feel like the thing shouldn't be we need less of him. I know what you're getting at. The thing is, they don't give us enough of what we need. We haven't had enough of Gravity. We haven't had enough of Gaia. We haven't had enough of Gaia and Talos. You know, it's just the circumstance that most of what we get is Nick Fury. It's not so much, oh, we're getting things with Gravik, but most of it is Nick Fury. No, it's only we're getting stuff with Nick Fury and we're getting really nothing with Gravik. And the stuff we do get with Gravik is fucking terrible. I'm Wednesday cannot come fast enough. I swear to you. You know, and hopefully by then we'll have a new trailer for the Marvels because I need that. I don't know anymore. It's work. It's work. Moving on. Barbie. Spoiler talk. We know it's early. We know people are either seeing this movie today or seeing it tomorrow because they want to see Oppenheimer tonight. So, if you have not seen this movie, please exit the venue. There is, believe it or not, a lot to spoil. So, exit the venue and come back and let's go. So, my anticipation for this movie was actually nothing, pretty much. I watched all 3 trailers and it was just like, it looks like a Barbie movie for whatever that means. It looks like a Barbie movie, you know. I love the aesthetics and all that, but it just, I don't know. It wasn't giving me a vibe. It wasn't giving me this is going to suck. It wasn't giving me, man, this is going to be really good. It's just, I knew what it was and it was there. It was just like, okay, let's check this thing out. And Regal thankfully did a Barbie blowout party, as it was titled. So I went last night, completely sold out. Everyone was dressed up in pink and you know costumes and all that, which was pretty sweet. We decked the whole theater out in pink balloons, and they had props and all that. I got a poster and a button. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so even my friend who I saw it with, she was like, I'm not really expecting much, you know. It's Barbie, you know. So when I sat down and it started, I was like, oh, this is what this is, okay. And truthfully, if I didn't see any reviews for the movie, I think I would have been even more taken back. Because I had heard, oh, this movie is very feminist and, you know, woman strong and all that. And I was just like, I really wasn't expecting that one, but okay. So I was just like, okay, this movie started. And when it ended, I was like, well, goddamn, that was, in the words of Mr. Scoot, that was some high quality H2O. I really dug this movie. I did. And I it's not just like, oh, you know, it was funny, you know, to be along for the ride and, you know, now it's out. You know, it's funny to say it's good. No, the movie is actually very, very good. Yeah. You know, it's very well crafted, very well written. It's a blast to sit through, and I really enjoyed it, you know. My low expectations helped, and I'm actually want to see it again. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think watching this with a group of friends would benefit heavily. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I really dug it. I didn't expect to, but I really dug it. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year. It's the most. It's probably the most fun I've had in the theater this year. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I
I can
really dug
definitely
it.
see that. Yeah. So Barbie. Am I like? Are you hearing like feedback? Because I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can.
Tyler,
Like,
mute
you
yourself
sound
for a
good.
second. Testing. Yeah, I don't hear it now.
Tyler, you
I
got
don't
like
hear it now.
feedback coming out.
But anyway, I can't do that. So Barbie. I watching the trailers. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the trailer. I only seen the first one, so I enjoyed the trailer a lot actually. And I was like, well, I want to watch the second trailers because I feel like that might give a little bit too much. So I don't remember what movie I was watching, but the trailer came on before the movie I was seeing, and I heard, "Do you ever think about death?" And I was like, "Oh, this movie is gonna be deeper than we think, bro." So I went in today watching the film, and I was like, "This movie is gonna be pretty deep," and it definitely was. And the movie has so many layers to it, and it is overall it's a comedy, but like it's so much deeper than that. And I love when movies do that, when like it has a genre, but like it has layers to it. It's not like just, you don't have to take it as at face value. There's more to see and dissect, and there's a message to it, and it's a really positive message, really good message to it. It just kind of shows some issues in our society and how we view certain things, and view women and view men, and you know it's deep. It gets there, but it also has a fun time. So we kind of get the best of both worlds. Is it a kids movie? Not quite, but I think you can bring families to it if the children are old enough. If they're like preteens, 12 years old, 13, like sure. But like keep your 5-year-olds at home probably. They probably won't understand exactly what's going
I
on.
gotta
They
learn
wouldn't
about the
get the joke,
patriarchy, dude. Come on.
but this movie was, it kind of spoke to me. I got a little teary-eyed watching this movie. It was good though. So that's my brief synopsis. We'll get into more later. Kev?
And, it definitely is not for kids. And I saw some little girls there at the screening too, and I was just like,
I saw a lot of little children in that theater. I'm just like,
they
and then they
didn't
threw
know.
some vagina penis joke in there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, those the joke. Some of the jokes were a little raunchy, but like there was only a couple though.
Greta Gerwig put a lot of balls into the fact that she made a movie titled Barbie, made the trailers look like Barbie, and have it not turn out to be a kid-friendly film.
Mm-hmm.
I was floored by that. But unlike you guys, I was excited in the sense that I was following the joke online. Barbenheimer, everyone was excited. And I was just like, this is a funny thing. I'll roll with it. Even if Barbie turns out to be mid, it's fun. Who cares? I didn't expect it to turn out the way it did. I thought this movie was really, really good. Borderline great for me. I really enjoyed it. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, this catered more towards like teens and adults than it did kids. So I guess it connected with me a lot more. I also very much like the feminist message that they put in this movie. Like Tyler put in his Instagram video, I was afraid to an extent that they were going to shove it down your throat, have it come off as obnoxious and all that. Because I feel like you can always have a good message, but if you come off as obnoxious, it's gonna turn out very bad. But they didn't do it with this. And I was like, this is really good because, they and even in the beginning they painted Barbie, the toy, like they made it because they didn't want to treat dolls as like borderline motherhoods for little girls, and they made Barbie to rectify that. And then now we're seeing a more modern look on how girls' dolls are supposed to be like. And I really enjoyed that because I felt like it gave a good message that relates to Barbie itself, but also make it more modern feminism. And I think that's what really elevated this film to be really good. Ryan Gosling, for all the stuff that he's been talking about with Kenergy, everything. I thought it was a cringe at first, but he was great in this movie. As the antagonist of this story, I thought he did really well. Like, I absolutely loved him. He was awesome. Margot Robbie was phenomenal. Was really good as Barbie. You know, it was just really good. I'm very much happy that the setting wasn't so much in the human world. Because after 20 minutes, and they were just like, we get to the human world, I'm like, okay, I guess. And then they came back to the Barbie world, and I'm just like,
it was that fish out of water stuff, and I was
felt
like,
the exact same way.
I think a lot of people, because I was talking to some other people about it, and they were saying that the real world stuff was okay, but like, let's get back to the Barbie land and figure out whatever we got going on there. And I agree completely, because I feel like Fish Out of Water is such a tired narrative. So yeah.
And I very much do like that Fish Out of Water stuff that you talked about. Usually it would be the humans coming into the other world. We see that kind of stuff. And for me, I'm just like, well, you could technically reverse the story to make it more about the girl than it is about Barbie, but they reversed it, and I was like, that works pretty well, because you're putting Barbie in the position that, she's not inspiring. And I guess you could talk about the human characters. I felt like the human aspects of the human characters were kind of weak. I guess it kind of made the story a little bit messy because, well, I do feel like they were intentionally sidelined for a majority of the movie because a lot of it has to do with Barbie and Ken and the other Barbies and Kens in this movie. I felt like they kind of sidelined it too much to the point where I'm just like, why are you here?
She started the revolution, bro.
Yeah, no, the mother I'm fine with, but the daughter, I was just like, they had the daughter. She came in, she roasted the fuck out of Barbie. Yeah,
she did,
and then
she did. And I was like, oh.
And then as soon as they made that plot twist relevant, I'm just like, why are you here now? You could easily take her out of that movie from there on forth, and I'm just like,
I honestly did love the plot twist though, because I
like the plot twist.
Go ahead, Kev. I didn't mean to catch you off.
Yeah, it's cool. We can just talk about it from here on out, but that's just my opinion. Some of the stuff was kind of convoluted, not convoluted, but just kind of like a little bit messy. Not so much that it ruined the movie for me, but for somewhere I was just like, are we going to talk about this part? Are we going to talk about them? Let's talk about this. But for Barbie and Ken, this was a great story. So I commend them a lot for that, making those two the more primary centerpieces of the movie. And overall the movie was borderline great for me. I really enjoyed it. One of the bigger surprises of this movie of the year for me, because for excited as I was about it, I thought this was gonna be mid. I was like, all right, it'll be fun, good joke around, be cool. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the thing that you were saying about the human characters, I think primarily they were trying to show motherhood and daughterhood and their bond and try to mend that, because it was definitely strained at the beginning of the movie. And by the end of the movie, we kind of get this, bonding moment, and I think it worked personally. So that's why I saw that. That's why she was there, the daughter and the mom. Yeah. So I guess we're not going beat for beat, but we can talk about the soundtrack. The soundtrack was pretty dope. I enjoyed the you wake up, and it was kind of like a narration, but it was also like a song, and like they did it twice.
Speaking of narration, Helen Mirren narrates the movie.
Was it Helen Mirren?
It was Helen Mirren.
Okay, because I didn't know if it was the Ruth lady, the lady who played Ruth.
No, it was Helen Mirren.
Okay,
that was great though.
Yeah.
I thought she was very funny. I'm glad that they actually gave her jokes. A lot of people don't talk. Helen Mirren is a very funny actress.
She is.
Given the right stuff, especially like her in Hobbs and Shaw when she gets her couple of jokes in there. She's really funny in those too.
Yeah,
I
think
she
really enjoys comedy.
She had me dying when Barbie was like in her depressing state and she looked kind of like ugly to an extent, what they called ugly. And the narrator comes in and it's just like, casting Margot Robbie for this role was a very poor way to point this message out. I'm like,
that was hilarious.
That had me dying for
that had the whole theater.
I was like, bro.
The whole theater
Speaking
was
of
like that.
Out of pocket jokes, there was a joke that they made when all the Barbies were like, we'll call it Kenified, when they were all like worshiping the Kens or whatever, and they were all depressed. I swear to you, I heard this and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, wow. It was when one of the Barbies was like, I feel like I was casted in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
I said,
it's WB.
I was like, wow.
I knew they said that there was going to be a joke about that in there. I was just like, okay.
See, Greta Gerwig is a goat because she acknowledges that that's the only reason of the only version of Justice League that exists. Good job. Ryan Gosling, man, he honestly, if he got nominated for an Oscar for this, give it to him. I don't give a shit because.
I don't know. The way they was talking about Robert Downey Jr. tomorrow for Oppenheimer, I'm like, shit.
He didn't get supported.
They might be getting head to head, going head to head on this.
This man
Oppenheimer about to sweep the Oscars.
This man absolutely killed it as Ken, bro. First of all, his pipes were on point, bro. I love his song.
Yo, the kid's song, bro.
Awesome.
The kid's songs are so out of pocket, bro.
Moving on to the end, the last, we'll call it
musical number
sequence, musical number. When it was on the beach, I was like, "This is fucking stupid." But the whole movie is fucking stupid. I like that. When it broke out into that other part. When they was all looking like Greece.
How they got to that point too, and with the chests, everybody.
Bro, I guess we know what a beach office now. I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. Yeah.
Bro.
That was hilarious too. When he goes to the beach and he's like, "Oh, you want to apply to be a lifeguard?" He goes, "No, I want to stay right here on the beach." He goes, "But nobody's in danger."
He said, "I want a beach. I want a beach." It's like, so you want to be a lifeguard? No, I want a beach.
I really that was the aspect of the movie I was not expecting. How he goes into the real world and he finds out about men and what they actually do, and he brought his mannerisms or masculinity,
patriarchy to
Barbie land. That was actually pretty cool, and I liked that. That was hilarious. I thought. Yeah. I also found it funny how I don't think a lot of people caught on to this, and I kind of dug this. How they go into Mattel, and Will Ferrell's the head of Mattel. Which this side plot I expected to shit all over this. And I actually liked this. I was like, this is kind of funny. Now that you've seen it, the music that they put when the suits show up is hilarious to me. I was like, this is really stupid. What else? What was I gonna say? But I like how she goes to Mattel and essentially they're acting like she's like, "Oh, are there any like women CEO people here?" And they're just like, "No, it's only us." And then she essentially brings up the fact of like, "Well, you're men. How would you guys know what's best for Barbie?" And they're just like, "Well, because we know. We've done it for so long." I kind of like that it's like, well, what they really know what's best for Barbie? Guys, bro.
No. And I thought that joke was funny when she came in there. He was like, "Any women here?" He was like, "Well, there was in the 90s and 2."
I also thought Will Ferrell was great. I love Will Ferrell. What else?
I did like that they threw shade at some of the discontinued Barbies.
Yeah.
Or some of the lines. They had that pregnant woman where you're just like, oh yeah, only one model of her. She's there. And then when we got to Weird Barbie's house, and then they showed all the discontinued Barbies, I'm just like,
Weird Barbie, bro.
Oh, the one with the TV in her back, bro.
Dude, I have a TV on my back.
Who's gonna want me?
That's something I praised heavily. Is this movie does not take itself seriously for longer than 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes are at the end of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not mind that. That's the best thing I can say about this movie. A movie like this, you cannot take it seriously. If you take it seriously, it becomes annoying. And that was the big. I said in my review, doing a movie like this, you have the fear of either making a movie that people will get or making a movie that people will shut off in 5 minutes. I can see people shutting this off in 5 minutes. You know, I get it. But the thing that this movie does so well is it makes fun of itself the whole time. And that's why it works. You can throw a political message in there, but if you throw a lot of comedy, good comedy at that, with good characters, people are not going to care as much. Did I understand all the politics in this movie? No. I'm not going to pretend like I did. But, you know, I was having such a good time. I really didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I also like they maxed the messages, the feminism aspect of it. They, like I said earlier, like they maxed it with the Barbie history, you know, why Barbies were created in the first place, and kind of why Barbies are not so popular now. You know, I don't know how the Barbie market is right now, but I doubt it was that big as when it was booming back in when it was first created. You know, there's a new age of women that Barbies kind of have to tend to, and I felt like because they maxed it with the history of Barbie and seeing all the discontinued Barbies and how the Barbies changed at the end of the movie, I felt that was really good. You know, good way to put the message in without sounding obnoxious and in your face.
Yeah.
And another movie that it reminded me of was the Lego movie, because in this movie they make fun of Legos a lot, and that's what this movie.
Will Ferrell's in that too.
Yes, he is
in the real world.
But I like the fact that in this movie they make fun of Barbies. That's what I like. You know, for some reason Warner Brothers has cracked the code on making movies about toys.
The Warner Brothers was Don't Worry Darling too, right? I felt like this movie was very similar to that as well. Just kind of realizing, you know, what the real world is about, and you know, just kind of being in a simulation type thing. It was very similar.
Only Barbie doesn't have lasers pointed at her eyes.
No,
it
didn't go that dark, but it was very similar to me. And Lego movie as well. There was another movie I was thinking of. It was kind of like, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just the movie is just very funny. It's very charming. I love the way Barbie World is realized. You know, it didn't look as cheap and fake as I thought it was going to. You know, Michael Cera as Alan. Bro. I saw one picture of him and I was like, oh, he's gonna be so fucking annoying. And thankfully he wasn't. He was actually very funny.
Yeah.
I love his role in the movie. I like how he's always trying to be involved, and he was like, who are you? Shut up. Like, you know,
I'm Alan. He wants to be involved.
I really like that.
I guess there is a doll named Alan, right?
I assume so. Because the point of some of the other characters not named Barbie and Ken is that they only made one model of them, or they were discontinued. So I assume that was the purpose.
Also, I'm glad that joke never got old.
Oh shit! That looked exactly.
There he is, with the shirt and everything.
I'm glad that joke never got old. Of hi Barbie, hi Ken. I'm glad that never got old because I was watching.
They only did it in the beginning.
Really. Yeah,
like
I think they did it a few times in the beginning, but I think it was used well and wasn't overused.
Yeah.
I died.
Simu Liu as Ken was awesome.
Bro. I'm not looking at Shang-Chi the same ever again, bro.
He's supposed to lead the Avengers now, bro. He's got to bring his Kenergy for this.
He gotta bring the kid.
This man will do a better job at leading an army of Kens than he will the Avengers, bro.
Yes.
With the roster that's shaping up to be the new Avengers, woof. I don't know. It's just I really enjoyed it. You know, I don't know what else really is there to talk about.
I'm going to talk about the ending because I kind of
I was going to say that same thing.
I got the ending. Like for me, is the very end. I got the ending and the whole point of Barbie wanting to become human. I'm like, that's good. That's cool. But I never understood that final joke. She shows up. Yeah, I was just like, I thought she was
because
to be
a real woman, that's what you have to do. That's where you have to go to be a real woman.
I was like, okay.
It was kind of funny. It ended on a joke, but the entire last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie was very touching and emotional, and she wants to mean more to the world and make a difference to the world. And I was like, oh, that's so good.
I really like how they showed shots
the montage
of every kind of woman out there, mothers, daughters, babies, children. I'm just like, this is awesome.
And then kind of show her eye and the tear coming out, and
I was like, you got
the whole the song behind it. I was like, this is a good movie. Watching that
the Billie Eilish song.
The Billie Eilish song. Yep.
Yeah, it was really good. You know, I'm glad that the messages clicked and the movie wasn't annoying, and I'm just happy the movie was good. That was my biggest fear, is that I was gonna walk out of it and be like, oh, that was nothing. But it was actually something, And then Barbenheimer week is off to the fantastic start. Now we all got the conclusion tomorrow night.
We got the real man. We got the men's movie over. Time to go watch Child's Play tomorrow.
The women had theirs. Now it's time for the men to shop.
AJ, you'll probably be the one who's more inclined to answer this question. I heard Greta Gerwig is very known for these kind of feminism kind of messages. I know she has 2 other movies or 3 other movies that she had that you rated very highly.
Yes.
Is this on the same quality in terms of feminism message?
Feminism message, I would say this one has the strongest message, feminist wise, but the first 2 movies that she wrote and directed are very strong independent woman type of vibe. So the first one was Lady Bird and the second one was Little Women, and both of those movies were fire. So 3 out of 3, man. 3 out of 3.
Apparently, Greta Gerwig is doing the new Narnia movies or show.
She made
Narnia songs.
Give it to me. She doing the Netflix. Give it to me.
I'd be interested to see that, but I don't want to see feminism style Narnia. That doesn't really sound good to me. I don't know. We'll see.
Look how that turned out.
Right, exactly. You thought that before you watched Barbie, but what?
You guys have anything else?
No, man. The movie was fire.
Yeah. That is going to do it. I did not get anything. I talked about everything that I got on the last one, Mission Impossible Spoiler Talk. Go check that out. That is going to do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. Thank you to everyone who is in the chat. Our Oppenheimer Spoiler Talk will probably be next Wednesday or Thursday. We'll let you guys know. In terms of content from me, I posted my Barbie spoiler-free review. Go check that out if you have not already. Saturday, I believe, will be my Oppenheimer movie review. And then next week I got a whole bunch of stuff coming out for you guys. Should be good stuff. Again, thank you to everyone who showed up. Everyone's stuff will be in the link in the bio down below. Please leave a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for all notifications related to your talk and videos. I'm on this one. Everyone have a great